What's up, y'all? Before this video starts proper, I just kind of want to do just like a random personal vent thing, and then we'll get over to the Nets. The landscape of YouTube has changed drastically since I started making videos like 10 years ago. The whole like vlogger thing is kind of dead. People have like edited videos with like, I don't know, like the game or like video game stuff or something. So this entire style of video is outdated as hell. So if you don't give a shit, or you can't tolerate the concept of there's a person in front of the camera just talking and vlogging, then trust me, I understand. If you're not going to watch, that's fine. I believe this channel is going to take on basically the life of like my vent channel, because all my other shits are like music related. So I think I'm just gonna make this my vent channel. So if no one watches this shit and I'm just posting into the void, then I think that's just what this is gonna be. I think this is just gonna be like my personal like get my shit off channel, and I think I'm okay with that. So I just want to make it clear, just in the slight chance that this attracts any attention, I'm aware that I'm like trapped in 2015 and the idea of that I'm going to set up a camera and just talk to it with nothing else on the screen but me. So I'm aware. To me, the Brooklyn Nets are like your ex that like you check in on Instagram every couple of months or like years or something like that, and you just kind of tilt your head and sigh and say, man, what the fuck are they doing? Like you want to distance yourself as much as possible. As much as possible, but you just can't help but just check up and just be like, what the fuck is going on? For any of you that follow me on Twitter, I'm like deep in the trenches of the Hawks and obviously the Dream and stuff like that. And the Dream season is coming up soon. I don't think I'll make a video every game because I'll get burned the fuck out. But I've been in the trenches with the Hawks, and that's a super ish as far as being in the trenches, because this season I really haven't watched that much basketball. I can pretty much admit that I haven't watched a lot of basketball. I keep up on Twitter, but like a majority of this year I just couldn't be fucked to like sit down and watch. And there's a lot of people that are saying that, oh, it's the 3-point shooting for why the ratings are down. It's the availability of the games. It's players not playing and stuff like that. For me personally, it's the fact that my two teams are trash. Like the Hawks, God bless them, made the play-in, but like they're gonna get clapped by either the Celtics or the Cavs in the first round. So we know how that's going to end. The Nets are fucking abysmal, and I don't even think I got League Pass until maybe the middle of February, because I was just like, fuck it, let me just watch some basketball. I'm bored. I tune in. Cam Thomas hasn't played the whole fucking year. Like, it's weird shit, and there's such a greater problem. There's such a greater issue going on in the league right now. It's like, if you are not a fan of like 4 specific teams, there's no point in fucking watching. Even if you like build up the energy to say, I'm going to sit down every other night for basically 3 hours and watch my team, whoever that may be, however many teams you have or whatever, even if you muster up the energy to do so in the regular season, in the middle of fucking January or December or some shit like that, like real meaningless hoops time, you run into an issue. And it's the issue that the Brooklyn Nets have, that a lot of different teams have. If you are not a fan of OKC, the Lakers, the Celtics, I guess you can throw Cleveland in there, but not really. Like, if you're not a fan of these like major teams that are either always in the news, whether they deserve it or not, I'll throw the Knicks in there too, because there's always something going on with them. But like, if you're not a fan of a team that's like either some legendary franchise that's always in the news because it's just them, like the Knicks or the Lakers, like it doesn't matter what their record is, it doesn't matter what's going on, people are always going to be invested in those two teams. So if you're not a Knicks fan, if you're not a Lakers fan, if you're not an OKC fan, and obviously if you're not a Celtic fan, why the fuck are you watching the regular season? Why does it even fucking matter? And it's not just the whole like, well, it's about sports. You watch your favorite team and you support them and there's upsets and blah, 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 blah. Maybe in other leagues, maybe in other sports, obviously in the WNBA, that's the case. You always want to check and see what your team is doing. There's really no trash team. Like outside of Washington, they're not really doing shit. And Connecticut, they're not really doing shit. But you know what I mean. Like, there's always a reason to watch. You never know what the fuck's going to happen. In the NBA, and I'll say the Nets specifically because I don't keep up with anyone else, man, I'm like dragging the fuck out this point. See, that's why this shit is just like my vent channel, because I'm such a shit YouTuber. But fucking tanking. There is no in between of like, you're either a contender or you're tanking for the lottery. And it's despicable work. I can't speak to other organizations like the Bulls or the Spurs or the Hornets or something like that, but it is diabolical, the shit that goes on when you're not either a fringe contender or just like a popular team. Like, there's no fucking in between. I'll use Brooklyn, for example, which is the title of this video. I'm sorry for dragging this out so long. But it's like, we go into this season, Mikal Bridges is gone, right? The whole Brooklyn Bridges thing is over. So you go into the season with Dennis Schroeder, Cam Thomas, Cam Johnson. I don't know who the fuck's been playing the four. Clowney? I don't fucking know. But and Claxton. Now, to people who aren't Nets fans, you say, well, nigga, who the fuck is that? I get it, trust me. But that team was so competitive that they got up to like third in the Eastern Conference in terms of ranking. Now, niggas got upset because people want to tank for Cooper Flag. Now, I don't know who the fuck that is. I don't keep up with college sports. I don't give a shit. I'm sorry. I just don't. March Madness is going on. If it's not the song by Future, I don't give a fuck. I'm sorry. I just don't care. I'm a fan of professional sports leagues, the WNBA and the NBA. When them niggas get into the league, I'll give a fuck. Didn't give a shit about Caitlin Clark. Didn't give a shit about Zion. I just don't care. Until they're professional athletes officially, I don't give a fuck. But because the Nets, on paper anyway, weren't clear contenders, you know, Kyrie's gone, KD's gone, Harden's gone, the fan base has the mentality of, let's lose games on purpose to get a pick. Now, I've covered basketball on YouTube for 10 years now, going on 11. I've been doing this for years, so I've been through the whole tank for a good pick thing. Remember the Zion sweepstakes? I was covering the Knicks at the time. I've been through this before. Never fucking works out. The star you're going for is either a fucking bust or goes to some random ass fucking team somewhere. Like, I'm telling you, this shit ends poorly. But in the current state of the NBA, teams and fan bases would rather say, fuck a whole year. Let's purposefully lose games for some fucking kid. Now, we already have Cam Thomas and Claxton. Cam Thomas is popular enough to where people outside of the fan base know who the fuck he is. Claxton, some people might not know about him, but Claxton's really fucking good too. You've got an assortment of very talented pieces around them. So much so that right now, as the Nets are currently trying to lose games at the end of the fucking season, they are winning games because the roster's so fucking talented. Now, again, they are so far from contenders, but I don't understand where we got to the point to where you have to be a contender, or like, where's the fucking in between? What's the point of watching? But anyway, let me get back on topic. So Cam Thomas, balling out of his fucking mind. Brooklyn's doing well. The organization and all the fans are on the same page and say this is too much. They need to start losing. Cam Thomas mysteriously gets a hamstring injury and is like out for like 20 to 30 games. Schroeder gets traded somewhere else, and the Nets began to free fall in the standings. Now, again, I wasn't like watching, so it's not like it personally affected me. I thought it was stupid, but it's like it didn't like personally affect me like that. But then the Nets would periodically begin to win games. Shit was getting so competitive that they brought in D'Angelo Russell again. That shit piqued my interest. I said, bitch, what? Fucking D'Lo's home? What the fuck? Like, that shit had me, I was moved. I'm not gonna lie to you. Just off of pure fandom type shit. Again, I don't give a fuck if they win game. Just the fact D'Lo was home, I was like, I'm fucking interested. Side note, Karis LeVert is on the Hawks. Crazy shit, but that's not even there. But then they start to win games again. So I tap back in. I'm like, hey, what the fuck going on in Brooklyn? Again, I'm not expecting a championship. I'm not expecting the playoffs. I'm just like, oh, they give a shit again? Cam Thomas came back? Ben Simmons got traded at some point? I must have missed that episode, but fuck yeah, I'm here for it. So my interest is piqued a little bit. I get fucking league pass. I'm like, what the fuck these niggas doing? Then I see we just got a gauntlet of just ride or die ass niggas. Fucking Keon Johnson, Trendon Watford's going fucking crazy. Noah Clowney's back from injury. Jalen Wilson's hitting threes again. Like, I'm like, what the fuck is this? There's some light-skinned nigga, something Martin or some shit. I mean, it's a nice-ass little fucking squad. Claxton doing his thing. Day'Ron Sharpe is finally showing some real improvement. Cam Johnson's actually hitting threes for a change. Cam Johnson's hitting threes. Cam Thomas is coming back from injury, looking amazing. They start winning games. I'm like, oh shit, what's going on? And I mean, they'll lose some here and there, but at least it's competent hoops. So, oh shit, okay. They start winning games, and the fans, the fucking fans, start complaining and saying, oh, this is competitive. Why are they trying so hard? Blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, what? Now, again, the very simple concept of tanking, I get it. Like, this isn't new territory. I get it. But it's like, if they're not good enough to be contenders, they're going to organically lose games to better teams. Why not enjoy the Nets blowing the fuck out of Orlando or some shit like that? You know what I mean? And I know Orlando's a playoff team, but fuck them niggas, right? Like, if we pick up a random win against the Mavericks after Luka's gone, Kyrie's hurt, AD's hurt, Like, what's the fucking harm in that shit? We're going to run into the Grizzlies and get annihilated anyway, so why not pick up a win or two? What's the point of watching if you just want them to lose? It doesn't make any sense, and like it forms poor habits. You create a losing culture. It doesn't make sense, because even if the Nets lost every fucking game, they go 0-82, and you draft Cooper Flagg, even though that's not how it works, but let's say hypothetically that's how the draft works, right? Worst record, you get the number 1 pick. You just came off of a whole fucking year of basically telling the players, hey, fuck it, we're not trying to win. How do you then expect them to flip the switch under the same head coach and the same general organization and say, okay, go win now? Like, that's just not how sports works. But ignoring the sports logic aspect of it, what the fuck about the fans? How can y'all niggas want them to lose? It doesn't fucking make sense. If they were good enough to be third in the East with fucking Schroeder and fucking Ben Simmons coming off the bench, and they're good enough to continue to win games. Again, there's like 2 weeks left in the season. The Nets just won another game. They got over to 30 wins. Niggas is pissed for some reason. If they're so talented that even when you want them to lose, they win, why would you not want to see what happens when you add your star player that you drafted back into the mix? It just doesn't make sense to me. I don't fucking understand the shit. I really don't. I could go down the timeline of the Nets season. It doesn't really matter. The point of this video is you want to talk about why the ratings are bad? It's because there's no fucking in-between anymore. 10 years ago, when I was a Knicks fan, they were ass. The Knicks just recently got good. Them niggas were ass. The tail end of the Carmelo Anthony era, the Kristaps Porzingis era, like the first like real moment of like, you know, you had Julius and Elfrid Payton and shit like that, like before Jalen Brunson, right? Them niggas were ass. But you at least wanted competitive hoops. At least make it worth watching. I don't know where the NBA has lost the fucking plot of, if you're not 5 teams, if you're not the top 5 in the league or just really popular, it's like, what's the point in watching? I will never get behind the concept of tank for some pick you're not guaranteed when you already have a talented young core. I will never get behind that. People want to shit on Sean Marks and shit for even thinking about, oh, well, maybe Giannis might want to come to Brooklyn. Maybe Ja might want to come to Brooklyn or some shit like that. I mean, obviously, that's insane, and they're not learning from past mistakes, but I want to know what happened to the league where you've got D'Angelo Russell, Karis LeVert, Joe Harris, who are them other niggas? Rondé Hollis Jefferson and shit like that. Like, what happened to those days where it's like, hey, we might get fucking slaughtered in the first round, but fuck it, we ball. Let's see what they do, right? What happened to that? as much as the Hawks fandom interests me and confuses me at the same time. And I don't think I'll ever like be able to fully claim them, but I at least respect the idea that you're rolling out a team and saying, fuck it, let's see what we can do. The only thing that concerns me is with the current climate of the NBA. If the Hawks still had their picks and didn't give them all up for DeJounte Murray, would the Hawks be doing the same thing? Would we be wasting Trae Young's prime just for fucking picks? Like, I don't know. Again, this is just a rant. This is just me getting my shit off. I don't know. If you ask for me, because I'm an example of someone that barely watched the NBA this season, because it's just like, what the fuck is the point? I'm not an OKC fan. I'm not a Knicks fan. I'm not a Lakers fan. I'm not a Celtic fan. So, what was the point of watching the regular season then? You know, that's just my 2 cents. I just want to put this out there. Just make this little fucking video, because I don't know, this shit's just weird to me. This shit is just really, really fucking weird. Like, you've got Cam Thomas, you've got D'Angelo Russell, Keon Johnson, Trendon Watford, Claxton. Like, they just called up a dude from the G League that dropped like fucking 50. He seems to be decent. Like, I don't know why you don't just be competitive with that. But I don't know, it's weird. Anyway, I've rambled on too much. It's just very frustrating to not be a fan of the top couple teams, because it's such a miserable experience, and it begs the question, why are we even fucking watching? But that's all I wanted to say.